The GIF in Dodger's tweet. It's good. It's a good GIF, okay? I am. Yeah, we're going to be playing SCP Secret Files. Any of you who have had the absolute delight of watching me play SCP Containment Breach know that I did not do well with that game at all. But this game seems more my speed. We'll see. It looks really interesting, actually, because it's like a collection of mini games almost. So it's not just like short stories. Each story has its own like style to it, apparently. Each story has like different mechanics, different visuals, the whole thing. So it should be pretty cool. I'm excited to try it. Yeah, so I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna roll up my brave sleeves. We should add Duker screams to the warning. You know what? You're right. You're right. Look, you're right. Sometimes you're right, guys. They do. They have little fangies. Hello! Oh my god. Oh my god, are there any fruit pastels left in here? There are! Past me! Oh, you crushed it. This is great. The still sick gang. No! Do I have a friend to support me? No. No! Okay. As per usual, we'll take a couple minutes, let people filter in, and then we'll hop in. I did try to open this game ahead of time. It's one of those games that just starts. It does this whole big intro, and then it's like, are you ready? Not an options menu in sight. Are you ready? And you're like, sure. And it's like, great. It starts now. It's starting right now. I was like, no, wait a minute. So. No, Summer, it's fine. It's fine. I was responding. No. But yeah, I'm excited. What am I eating? Fruit pastels. They're like little fruit gummies with, I don't even know what's on the outside of them. It's like citrusy sprinkle bullshit. Seven sweets are one serving. Shut the fuck up. You don't know me. Shut up. Oh. Okay. Yeah, on the container, they are sweets. I think it's important we say that. It says, irresistible and vegan friendly. Know your servings. 7 sweets are 1 serving. Good food for a good life. No, they're not peach rings. It's like a... They're not like Sour Patch Kids either. It's just like, there's like a citric acid sort of like sugar thing that gets put on the outside of them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, of course I've had a chocolate orange. If I'm gonna eat sweets, I'm not done until I feel awful about myself. Yeah. Irex asked Sam if he would join him in the bathhouse in Japan, and Sam said yes. Yeah, I don't know why he would say no. Yeah, they're yummy. They do hurt your tummy after a while, but like, what sweet doesn't? I will never forget a few years ago when I was like, yeah, Sam, you know, like when you have so much candy that your tummy hurts? And he was like, no. And he was dead serious. And I was like, no, like, you know, you have enough candy that it like makes you feel kind of sick. And he was like, no, I don't think I've ever experienced that. What? Did he eat the entire yard pizza? No. He had half of it that night, the night that he bought it. He had half of it. I packaged up the rest and put it in the fridge, and then we air fried it slowly over time. I had a lot of pizza that way. That's what last night we had sort of a rough night with bedtime, and then I had D&D to be on, and I was already half an hour late. So I was like, I'm just going to order us something because I don't, you know, you're already streaming. I need to stream, or I need to be on D&D. So neither of us is going to cook, okay? And he was like, we could do pizza. I was like, no. I'm so fucking burnt out on pizza, dude. No, thank you. Different tummies, dude. So I think I was telling you guys that Sam's family has decided that we're gonna do Christmas dinner out, like at a pub, which is crazy. None of them have ever done that before. I'm not a Christmas bitch, so you know, every slightly different Christmas thing is a thing I've never done. So they in order to take that many people, you know, like 17 people, they were like, Sam has a big family, side note. So in order to take that many people, they were like, okay, we're going to send you a menu. We need everybody to decide like now what it is they're going to eat, basically. And so they sent the menu, and I was looking at it and I was like, ooh, they have a butternut squash Wellington. That sounds yummy. And celeriac soup to start. Absolutely. So I'm like choosing my things. Everyone else obviously is like, I want the turkey roast. I want, you know, a Yorkshire pudding. I want like the classic shit. But my order. And Sam's sister was like, I'm fucking shook. I am shook by Brooke's order right now. No, it'll be on Christmas. It's quite expensive per person to go out on Christmas. Because you're not only like paying for the food and to be there, but also, you know, you're paying extra for all of the people that work there because they're working on Christmas, right? But yeah, Christmas is like a huge, because the family is so big, Christmas is always such a huge stress. And like, we're trying to move. Sam's parents are trying to sell their house. My sister-in-law, who is the only other person that has a house that could like hold us, her house is completely torn apart. doing like they're like redoing their whole kitchen and stuff. So we were just like, there's nowhere for us to go. There's nowhere for us to go, dude. We can't do it anywhere this year, really. So yeah, lots of places stay open for Christmas. There are plenty of people that don't, Christmas isn't the only winter holiday. So there's plenty of people that don't celebrate Christmas and are like, nice, time to make some extra money, or just don't really care too much about. I didn't grow up celebrating Christmas, so I have zero reverence for it, right? Like, I don't, I could easily work on a Christmas and be fine, but I'm now part of a family that does care a lot about Christmas, so I do things on Christmas now, but I never did growing up. If you're trying to buy and they're trying to sell, no. We do not want their house. Also, we're all trying to move in together into the place that we're trying to buy, so... Multi-generational living. Clarky watched, Clarky and I watched Coco for the first time. I had never seen Coco. Now Clark's obsessed with the music in Coco now, which is very cute. But she was like, I want our whole family to live in one house. I was like, I mean, we're kind of trying to do that, Clarky. We're trying to like get a little farm, and then the little side house that's on the farm, that's where... Nanny and Granddad would live. And she was like, and then I could see them every day. I was like, oh, God. Yes, and then you could see them every day if you wanted. Ooh. Yeah. Currently, the situation potentially would be us in the main house. And then there's like a, what they call a granny annex here. There's an annex, like a separate small house. That's where my mother and father-in-law would live. And then Sam's sister would also potentially live on the property, which would be super cool, I think. I'm super into that idea. It seems insane you still haven't heard back about the house. We have. Yeah. There's a whole fucking process going on behind the scenes. I just don't want to go into it every time I stream, so. Yeah, there's all kinds of shit happening. But, if you're saying, I can't believe that it hasn't been sorted and you don't just have the house yet. Yeah, well, it's fucking hard to buy a house when you're self-employed, unfortunately. Sounds like my nightmare, but it sounds great for you guys. Yeah, for sure. Like I'm gonna live with my whole family thing is not that's not everybody's cup of tea, but one of the major reasons that Sam and I moved here was so that he could spend more time with his family and try to like take care of his parents a little bit. So they needed to sell their house. And it just seems to make a lot of sense, like if we're going to be buying a place with a little bit of property, and you guys want to like live somewhere a bit smaller and quieter and whatever, like this could be a good option for you to just live on the property with us, So it's just all kind of come together that way. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing is, a big stipulation was like, we're not all going to live in the same house, right? We're not all going to live in the same house. We're going to respect like when each other needs to work. Clarky can say like, oh, I'll get to see them every day. But, if they need us to not bother them while they're doing stuff, then, that's a boundary that we need to respect. So that'll be a huge part of it, is figuring out like, okay, how do we give each other the space that we need, Got to be a lot of feeling selling the house where you raised all your kids, for sure. Yeah, all of the kids basically grew up in that house, so yeah, it's hard. moved 1,500 miles from home. Sometimes distance is good. Yeah, I think, you know, Sam lived in a totally different country for like 5 years or whatever, 6 years. You know, Sam's moved around a lot. He spent a lot of time away from his family. I think that was probably good, right? Yeah, that's the way that... Okay, so my parents spend part of the year in the desert in Palm Springs, the Palm Springs sort of area. And when they're in Oregon, they just keep to themselves. They just chill, you know. They've got their huge farm. It's nice, it's peaceful, it's whatever. When they go to the desert, when it gets really cold because their arthritis is so bad and stuff. It's just like, it just feels nicer for their bodies because they're getting older. But when they're out there, it's like, you know, they you know, they're calling up my aunt like, hey, do you want to come over and play cards? And like all this sort of stuff. It's very cute. Yeah. Sometimes you just wind up right back next to people. Yeah, I was talking with Jeannie, who's one of my best friends that I made in LA. I was talking with Jeannie about how, like, we had a whole huge group of friends that got along so well. Everybody sort of moved away. And now everyone, except for Sam and I, obviously, but everybody else has slowly just like moved back to the exact same area of LA. And I'm like, damn, well, when we come to visit, it'll be really easy to see everybody now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Me moving back to my hometown in December. Yo, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I had a couple of our friends went on like basically did a world tour, dude. They did the whole like, we're gonna backpack from one place to the next. We're gonna like, you know, do like little bits of work online in order to, you know, pay our way from one place to the next. But we're gonna, you know, we're just gonna like see as much as we can until we can't really justify it anymore. They were gone for months. And then when they got back, they were like, man, going on that trip was awesome. I'm ready to settle down now. You know, like that was great. I can't wait to just like go back to exactly where I was before that trip and just chill now. I can like appreciate where I'm at right now. Did you see Jeannie throw a pie in Kristen's face for charity? I did not. I did not see that. All right. I'd have gone back to Hawaii if it wasn't too expensive, but Kelly is close enough. Yeah. Yeah, Sam and I have been... Sorry, I was going to start the game, but just super quick. Sam and I have, like... A long time ago, we were like, oh, man, neither of us have ever been to Hawaii. We should totally go. But, like, you know, it's... there's a lot of information now about... like trying to figure out how do I ethically go to Hawaii when the tourist industry is so bad for it. And also because of the tourist industry, they've had such a hard problem, like combating COVID and like all this stuff. And like, it's really sad. Yeah. But trying to figure out like, okay, if we were going to go, is there a way that we can go and feel like we, you know, gave back or like helped with something, because they don't want tourists there for the most part. Tourism is both the backbone and the knife in the gut of Hawaii. Yeah, it's so rough. Like, the more you look into it, the more it's like, God, I can't imagine. It's hard. But there are plenty of other places we've never been. We've been wanting to go to Japan, and we've never been, so lots of other options, but it's heartbreaking to read about. So many people love Hawaii, but it's obviously, like, it's really detrimental to it in a lot of ways. 666 viewers. Now's the time. Let's go, 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 go. Okay, so yeah, like I said, this game, the second you open it, it's just like, great, the game is starting, which is annoying. So I will do my best. I will do my best to set it up properly so that it looks right. Japan is opening up, yeah. Okay, let's see. Game. Secret files. Swappy swoopy. Oh no. Okay. Continue. Oh god. Oh no. This is so annoying. It's the reason that I really need to figure out where, like, an options menu is for this game is because it does the thing where it, like, full screens and then pushes all of the windows over. My least favorite. What are you doing? I don't want to. I want... No! Okay, I'm Carl. Carl Astana. A few months ago, I was preparing my dissertation in a restaurant on L Street. The pies there were rather to my liking. I became startled when the man sitting across from me suddenly shouted out, "The pies here are total shit. Oh no, it's too fast." After seeing that there were other empty tables in the restaurant, I said to this man... I certainly said something. Wait, what is going on? Okay. It keeps, like, unfull screening itself. I'm very confused. Wow, we're still just chatting. Yeah, I can barely even do anything else on the computer. Sorry, hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Please, Lord. Okay, let's see if this helps it at all. Nope. Okay. Well, it's fine. We'll see if we can get to an options menu in a second here. I said to this man, "Excuse me, I don't believe I know you. Is there something I can help you with? Look, this seat's occupied. Find yourself another table." I'll be mean. Get a different table, dude. Without answering my question, the man continued talking to himself. "Look, so here you are. You're graduating soon. Clearly you need a job. It just so happens we have a job for you." The man paused to add emphasis. "A mysterious job. A wonderful job." "Thanks, but I have no interest." For a dickhead, I've decided. "Do not refuse my offer in haste." He handed me a business card. Both sides of the card were black with 3 letters printed neatly on one side. SCP. Click to open the envelope. Oh, okay. Lord. Mr. Carl. Wait! "Congratulations on becoming a member of the SCP Foundation. The Foundation..." Wow, he just handed me the envelope and I'm just in? "Foundation highly values your knowledge and expertise. We firmly believe that you are the one we've been searching for. Please go to the security office to pick up your employee card." Okay. I'm begging you for an options menu. I'm screaming, barfing. I'm on my hands and knees.
Since the beginning of civilization, the world has been full of unknown things. Due to their existence, the balance of mankind's peaceful life has been upset. However, no matter how advanced our technology, no matter how great our scientific breakthroughs, there will always be anomalies that cannot be explained. We don't know where they come from, or what their purpose is. These questions plague mankind and affect our daily lives. It's because of this that we founded the SCP Foundation, an organization dedicated to containing anomalous items, individuals, and phenomena. The SCP Foundation is committed to maintaining the normalcy of the world so that people may live free of fear, while ordinary people live in the sunlight.
What?
We must fight anomalies in the shadows. We must prevent them from being exposed to the public and from being
Look at that little
exposed
footy.
to the public, so that people may live in a rational and ordinary world. We secure, we contain, we protect.
Secure, contain, protect. This is a long elevator, dude. Oh. Fantastic. Oh my god. No! Oh my god. Please, 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 please. Apply. Oh my god, I'm free. Oh my god, I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Oh, Jesus. I can move things around. I can see shit again. Oh god. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Apply. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, jeez. No! Where did it go? Oh my god. This fucking game. What is it that I have open that's making you so mad? Motion blur. Absolutely not. So, for some reason... Oh my god. Chat went away again. For some reason, sometimes when I do things, it just minimizes the whole game. The game itself is an SCP. Ah, it's all coming together. Yeah, we've played all of Control. It's very good. Okay. I couldn't see you when the talking was happening. How does it look and how's the volume? Looks fine, sounds good. Eh? Okay. Enter room 914. Okay. But what's in the other rooms? But what's in the other rooms? Remember your name? Oh, God. Okay. Okay, fine. Oh. Cool. Neat. Is this my office? Is this where I work? I've been busy, shit. Verifying if ID is legal. Carla Stana. 1989, homie. 2 years younger than me. I'm still on top, baby. Yes. I like this, like, CAPTCHA style, like, yes, I agree to not do dumb shit with the information on this computer. Before starting your work, please allow us to introduce you to the software. Okay. Each day, your superior will assign tasks to the mission module. When there is a new task, the button will blink red. Communication within the site relies primarily on the instant messaging system, where information is processed using level 2 encryption. Please pay attention to blinking red reminders. Training is an effective means of information sharing within the Foundation. New employees must first participate in new employee training before they may begin work. This page shows public information of all sites around the world. You can view the information at any time. This concludes the introduction. Okay. How'd the mission go? Did the information gathering on SCP-1299 go smoothly? It was close this time. Luckily, I know how to swim. I'm glad Chuck didn't send me there. I can't stand the feeling of being drenched in water. I think I caught a cold. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Guess what? Our group's got a new member today. Carl. How about introducing yourself? Morning, everyone. Hiya, friends! Yeah, sure. My name is Carl Astana. You can call me Carl. I graduated from MIT with a double major in biology and philosophy. Fucking Stuart. MIT. That's pretty awesome. Do I sense a hint of jealousy? Seems MIT is not popular here. It's not like that. Not targeting you specifically, pal. It's all the prestigious graduates. The Foundation specifically seeks out prestigious graduates, and then the Foundation throws them into the archive department. Don't listen to the nonsense coming out of this man's mouth. Have y'all conveniently forgot about Jonathan? Who's Jonathan? Tell me, Gent. Jonathan graduated from Harvard or Stanford or whatever. Anyways, the specifics don't matter. You guys watched Rick and Morty last night? Prestigious graduates are so full of it. You think you can just... Man, Gent was like, no, it's nothing against you, and is now spiraling. Think you could just beam through everywhere with your glowing academic qualifications. You got it coming. The tragedy he went through was inevitable. Tragedy, you must be joking. Jonathan lost his left hand. He breached protocol and touched SCP-247. He was given amnestics and sent back home 2 days ago. Rick clearly knows too much. I've got reason to suspect he was a former SCP employee, lol. I really don't want to recall the details. I can't even eat medium steak anymore. Hey, Stuart, no one wants to talk about boring children's cartoons, all right? It was an accident. An accident. Who cares? He was a prestigious graduate with a higher consume rate than Class D personnel. In this year's annual report, I'm going to replace Archive Department with Relief Station. Rick and Morty is not a children's cartoon. Gent, I think you scared Carl. If any of you are planning on getting some serious work done today, please do me a favor and shut the hell up. So long as you're here working in the Archive Department, I'm going to need you to focus on your work. Unlike those people in the Logistics Department spending their time gossiping all day. These archives contain missions not completed last time. Some places need modifications. Got it. Take some time after you finish up with this project, all right? Don't push yourself too hard. Got it. Who's Chuck? Where's mine? That's all. Class A archive must be handed in end of day. What should I do, boss? In the archives department, we need to review, organize, catalog, and modify all existing containment archives. No need to hurry. Young man! You need to attend the new employee onboard training first before you can begin working at the Foundation officially. The system will send you a meeting notice. All right, Director. Hey, Director. I'm honored to be given the chance to work here at the archives department. This place is not, young man, this place is not what you think. You must abandon your past self. Start again from zero if you hope to learn to survive here. No one will take care of you. You must demonstrate your own ability. Understood. Young man. The new employee onboard training will be hosted by Dr. Ham this time. You will suffer, Carl. I suggest you prepare a paper bag for the vomit. He's messing with you. Dr. Ham is one of the most knowledgeable containment specialists in the Foundation. Guys, you still have no idea what you're doing, do you? Move it. Remember, Carl. Stay sane and always in awe. The course you signed up for is about to begin. Please join the meeting in the training system. Oof, God. Join conference. Establishing encrypted channel. Excluding mimetic influence. Loading basic conference room. Oh my God. All right, let's go.
Jason Carter is a death row inmate.
Oh my God.
In exchange for clemency, he has agreed to work with the SCP Foundation for 30 days. Upon completion of his work, he will be a free man.
Like in Containment Breach. We were Jason then.
Jason Carter is now D503.
Day one. Okie dokie.
D503 was given no clear instruction of the task to be completed.
What the fuck?
He must find them out for himself.
For 30 days? This poor man. Collect waste. Okay. You know? What's he gotta do? He's gotta secure, contain, and protect. Cute. Plastic petrol tank, hard to decompose even after 100 years. Right. Okay. Vehicles became the main form of transportation. Discarded tires began to grow in numbers. Yes. How am I picking this shit up? I must be fucking ripped, dude. Tin drum with a danger sign on it. Having once protected hazardous liquids from leaking, it was discarded upon the completion of its mission. I don't like the wind. I don't like the wind. I don't like it. It's only day one. I think all of this stuff's gonna be normal. It's gonna be normal to start with, probably. D503 is code for how much you bench. Yeah. An iron pipe whose valve is too rusty to turn. It could have been recycled, but humans threw it away anyway. Stinky humans. Bro, what if the machine I'm using to look at this stuff is the SCP? And it hates humans. And we're gonna find that out. We're gonna find out how much it hates humans the longer we pick up trash. Blue roadblock. Although the triangular support structure is extremely stable, even it cannot withstand the erosion caused by the desert. Moved the incinerator. Is that at my house? Back here at my house? A recycling SCP. Look, if a fucking like... if a like pizza can be an SCP... Please pull down on the lever. Come on! You bench 503, let's go! Oh, we burn. Yum yum. Okay.
This was D503's first day of work.
Okay.
SCP protocol mandates that D503 now undergo a psychological evaluation.
Okay. Please take the level 2 mental test. Please drag the left graphic fragment to the back square area to fill the whole square. Okay. I do love games like this. I do love this kind of shit. Okay. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Oh. Come on, man. Just let me eat. I got an achievement called Still Delicious.
This was the first day D503 psychological data was collected.
Okay.
You're probably wondering, how can this job earn freedom for a death row inmate?
Dr. Ham, goodness.
I'm Dr. Raymond Ham from Site 83. Welcome to today's training conference. Today, I'm going to share with you a little project I've been working on called SCP-7457. The desert you saw just now is SCP-7457.
desert.
D503 is a volunteer who we invited to help us learn more about this desert.
The desert in general is an
Prior to the
SCP?
Foundation's
Okay.
involvement with SCP-7457, 329 people went missing in this area. As a precaution, we have introduced lockdown measures as we attempt to find the cause of these disappearances. As everyone here is new to the Foundation, it will be good for you to learn about SCP-7457. Let me explain how it works. Before we get started, are there any questions?
Dr. Ham, I'm Will Barton, 3rd Special Squad, Site 86.
Hello, Will.
Before I came here, I thought I had a basic understanding of the Foundation. I've heard of these anomalies, but only in terms of human anomalies. I had no idea that SCP-7457 was a desert. How do we begin to make sense of this?
That's a good question, Will. All the unexplained phenomena we are monitoring are being labeled anomalies. Human anomalies, regional anomalies, artifact anomalies, and various other phenomena beyond our control. The work of the Foundation is to isolate these anomalies and prevent the public from, shall we say, experiencing them? Okay, next question.
Hello, Dr. Ham. I'm Mark Harris.
What's up,
a
Mark?
research intern from Site 27. In the video, we saw D503 picking up garbage in the desert. Why did it do that? And what does this have to do with anomalies?
Okay, Mark.
This is why
What I
that
can
dude at
tell
the
you
beginning
now
was so
is that
salty.
everything
It wasn't
you
because we
see
had a
is
degree.
part of
It's because everybody who gets hired here is
7457.
hot.
SCP anomalies can be a little difficult to understand at first. Just know that it, or they, have their own rules. Perhaps you'll understand what I mean once we finish watching the video. Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
The first week
Mark
was
looks
fairly
12.
normal.
Mark does look very young,
However,
yeah.
There was an interesting occurrence on the 8th day.
The 8th day. All right, let's go. Yum, yum. Yum, yum. Let's go, baby. Show us the shit.
Let's have a look at what happened.
Okay. Nighttime? Is it nighttime? Or does the desert want me to think it's nighttime? Come on, beep boop. Come on. Why did that sound like I was eating it? Please tell me I didn't eat it. Please tell me I didn't eat that. Please tell me I didn't eat that. Bro, don't eat this shit. It was the same sound that they used when I picked up that floor burger, dude. Don't make me eat this. Okay. Okay. It wasn't. I don't think it's a munchie noise. It's just a digging up the sand noise. Modern human beings cannot live without air conditioners due to global warming. Yet the use of Freon and air conditioners also indirectly causes global warming. After 8 days of floor burgers, you want variety, you know? What if you're eating the sand? Bro, I might. Bro, I might. Hey, what's that? Hey, what's that? Hey, what is that? A spindle of thick black cable wound too tightly to see what's inside. It's much heavier than it looks. Nobody knows why. It takes a lot of effort to carry. For this man? This man who benches 503? Damn. Must be heavy. It's just a rope, that's all it is. Bye. Black spindle.
D503 had completed his task.
Uh-oh.
However, he did not realize that he had already encountered his first anomaly.
Did he not? Did I not see that thing move? Pretty sure I saw it move, dude. Time for my mental test. Please select 3 pictures with a triangle. 1, 2. This one has a triangle in it. Okay. Select 3 pictures that calculation results are equal to 5. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Are they all 5? It's like 3 pictures, a calculation, results are equal to 5. Oh no. Fuck. Do we need to add math to the warning? Are you guys gonna be bitchy about this? Are you guys gonna be dickheads about this? Let me sleep. Let me sleep in peace.
That night, D503's psychological data showed abnormal fluctuations. Analysis tells us that D503 is dreaming.
About what?
Unfortunately, though, we have no way of knowing what he dreamed of that night.
Did I dream about the ocean? Does the desert dream of the ocean? Was there once water on that desert, and now it misses the water?
The 8th day marked a significant turning point, the start of SCP-7457's impact on D503. Are there any questions before we go on?
Hello, Dr. Ham. I'm Spencer Jones from the Special Operations Department of Site
Another
21.
hot person.
Hello, Spencer.
It's still
Four
unclear
for
as to
four.
why D503 needs to pick up all of this trash. If you wanted to monitor his psychological response to SCP-7457, why not just leave him out in the desert? Why assign him these tasks when there are already psychological evaluations taking place?
Okay. Our analysis has indicated that SCP-7457 produces a new cluster of trash every 8 minutes and 37 seconds. If waste collection is not done regularly, all that trash may soon flow into our world. It is worth noting, though, that the quantity of waste created here pales in comparison to the amount produced by humans. However, it still has the potential to become a significant problem in the future. By assigning these tasks to D503, we can monitor his reactions while also containing the trash. There is another reason, but we will get to that one later.
Is it not the case that the Foundation is exaggerating the importance of a minor issue before the issue is fully understood?
Damn, Spencer
Okay,
coming in hot.
everyone. I must emphasize that behind us is the general public, who are wholly unaware of any of this. Being meticulous and maintaining a serious attitude is essential at the SCP Foundation. Any oversight or underestimation of the enemy may result in disaster.
Thank you, Dr. Ham. I understand.
Good. Let's move on. The effects of SCP-7457 on D503 became most obvious on day 15 of the test.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Due
Time
to
for
the
day
conditions
15.
that day, we were only able to track his movements after recovering data from his radar.
What? Did he die on day 15?
It was definitely a bad day. Perhaps the worst. Even for a death row inmate.
Oh, God. Okay. It's like leaving things for me.
D503 found a radar that perfectly resembled his own. However, D503 didn't seem to think much of it.
Did I not? D503, look at me, man. You gotta get out of here, dude. Another jumble of wire. Good. Bro, we're gonna get in the car and this thing is gonna start like taking over the car. Look, you can see it. It lets you just watch it, dude. Nope, bro. Nope. I don't like it. D503 ain't made to think. He made to be trash man. It's true. He trash man. What if I just walk into the desert? Goodbye. Hello, desert. I know you're alive. I wish for us to be friends. Swallow me up whole like a baby. I don't know what that means. Run into the sand. Return to sand. Return to sand. I make the story now. This is recovered footage. This is recovered footage. We're making all of these trainees watch this man just run into the sand. There's a wall here. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. SCP. That's fucked up, guys. Fine. The true SCP is the invisible walls. I mean, they, you know, part of SCP is contained, dude. Alright, fine. Fine. Good. Barf, 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 barf.
Persistent adverse physiological reactions prove to be a challenge for D503.
I got an achievement. I can't tell if it's because I
Complete his work on day 15.
ran off into the desert.
But then he encountered an incident.
Eh?
A sandstorm.
Oh. Return to sand, as I requested.
D503 walked in the sandstorm for a long
Bro!
time, but he couldn't seem to find his way back.
I knew this would be the moment. Yeah. Return to sand. Yum, 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 yum. Follow the tendrils. Go toward the red light. Yeah. Maybe they got burgers there. Not floor burgers, but real burgers. Wow, I hate all these particles on the screen right now. Yeah. Yum, 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 yum.
D503 managed to find a site just as he was beginning to grow weak with exhaustion. A site he was not familiar with.
Oh. Wow, look at all this. It's the tendrils, my new friends. My new friends, the tendrils. Yum, 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 yum. Look at all my friends in here. They whisper to me. They talk to me. Yum, 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 yum. Lie? Eat hot chip and lie. That's why I'm on death row, dude. How does the... No. Is that me? Oh my god, some Uzumaki shit. Eat hot chips, straight to jail. That's what I'm saying, dude. I put flashing lights on the warnings, right? It's the cord system under my desk. Yeah. Okay, good.
Have you ever experienced a call from an unknown voice?
Eyeball.
Approximately 13 hours later, a visibly trembling D503 returned to Site 8. We immediately performed a psychological evaluation.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Major fluctuations can now be observed in D503's physiological data.
I am cable. I am desert.
The results of the psychological evaluation were so troubling, we had to abort the mission.
I'm getting out of here, baby.
D503 was able to break away from the Foundation's control.
To be fair, it looks like you guys made it really easy.
He has seen the desert's
Let's go. We're getting out of here, baby.
Yeah!
Yeah!
At SCP-7457.
Let's go. Return to desert.
That's right. None of the Level D personnel at SCP-7457 have ever been able to leave this desert.
Let's go. The desert gets me, dude. They'll never understand. Oh, here we go. Turn me into Cable, as I was meant to be. Can you remember your name? My actual name? Like the person who's like doing the tutorial? Carl. Coral. Right? Carl, I think.
D503 heard the call.
I heard the
Humans
call.
often believe that their fate is in their own hands. That all choices come from their own free will.
Why am I
They
not
don't
sitting now?
realize that we humans form only a small part of this world. Out there, in the unknown world, we are as insignificant as a grain of sand in this vast desert.
Oh, subtitle. It's fine.
We've never seen ourselves, we don't know. But we can assume, based on everybody else who works here, that we are also probably super hot. Yeah. It's canonical. I actually love this. This is super cool. Is this a love story? In as much as I'm going to become Cable? Yeah. I become one with Cable.
This is where D503's instincts led him.
Oh. Are each of these a body? Oh, interesting. So the other, like, rings of Cable that we found were bodies? Damn. Bye, D503. You crushed it. You were really good at your job. I hope you're happy now that you're part of the desert.
Days later, experiment participant D722 found the radar that had belonged to D503. The radar was 31 miles away from the waste treatment facility. All the data we have came from this radar. People entering SCP-7457 will suffer varying degrees of psychological stress within an acute period. It manifests as a range of neurological and mental disorders, as well as severe and unexplained hallucinations. So far, not one participant has left the desert unscathed. The Foundation has tested 31 Level D personnel in an area spanning 2,267 square miles. Our testing continues. When you work for the Foundation, you will face various anomalies. Some can kill you, some may drive you crazy, and some will make you feel that living is worse than death. Let this be very clear. SCP-7457 is just a taste of what you will face in the future.
Okay.
Before joining the Foundation, you were all leaders in your respective fields and industries. Researchers, special forces, FBI agents, national security
What
experts.
about Carl?
Well, SCP does not care how smart you are, how accomplished you are. It doesn't matter to them how many doctorates and titles you have. You are no different from helpless ants when confronted with these anomalies.
Cool.
Remember
Very neat.
this. It is the most important advice you will receive. Do not take risks. You will
We
die.
only care that you're hot. Yeah,
You're
exactly.
not as special as you think you are.
Oh my god.
If you encounter an anomaly, put your pride and curiosity aside. Run. Because that's the only thing you can do. God won't protect you here.
Damn, Dr. Ham, chill.
Welcome to the Foundation, rookies.
Yikes.
I'm Dr. Raymond Ham, and this ends the first class of our employee induction program.
Okay. Please add your comments. Okay, one sec. No. Not disconnected. Here we go. Yeah, please add comments. Dr. Ham was pretty hot. Didn't like the cables. Course was arranged appropriately. Lesson 1, Raymond Ham. The lecturer was qualified. I guess so. The connection was smooth. Yeah. Notice of the meeting was punctual. Yeah, course was arranged appropriately. I don't know about that. It helped me realize that if I don't strictly abide by the rules, I could be injected with amnestics and sent home like Jonathan. Yeah, that seems right. Thank you for your feedback. Mail database files. Hi, Carl. How did it feel? To be honest, I feel a little uncomfortable. Anyone got an aspirin? Hey, buddy, don't throw up on the floor. Stop messing with him, Stuart. Carl, that was only the beginning. You gotta learn to get used to it. Live with it. I got it. And everyone here wants to teach you something, Carl. Live with it. Come on, Stuart. Thanks, I feel better. In any case, you're welcome to join us, Carl. Fucking Stuart, dude. Past hour has been torture. I don't know how the others managed to hold on. I messed up during the training session. I jumped off a cliff, fell into icy water, choked. I don't know how I even recall any of this. I have no memory of ever visiting any cliffs or waterfalls. But it was so real. I can even taste it in my mouth now, the foul taste of the river water. In any case, this is my first day at the Foundation. I gotta go to the cafeteria and get something to eat. Carl? Carl? Hey, Chuck, why am I being assigned field work? Something went wrong at Site 74. Personnel from other departments went to provide support. We need to take on more field work. Just like I said, our department should be renamed Relief Station. Stop complaining, Gent. Carl, how do you feel? I'm ready for a new job. Good. This is your first mission. That's not what I meant. Review the archives. Organize them according to the requirements. Do not underestimate the task at hand. Finish it. I'll do my best. Good luck, Carl. Good luck, Coral. Just one thing. MIT, boy. Strictly follow the regulations. Don't act on your own without authorization. I'm not an idiot, but thanks for the advice. This reminds me of my first mission. Wubba lubba dub dub Stuart. Dude, Stuart stood in line for Szechuan sauce 100%. Files. Okay. Enter data regarding the investigation reports to the archive system on the right. Method of operation. Click the text with the red underline. After clicking, the data dragging effect will be activated. Drag it to the archive system on the right. Left click to release data. Data will be uploaded automatically. After entering all data into the archive system, click submit. Okay, black box incident oh, Euclid. Good.
I'm Agent Q from the Accident Investigation Department. Containment breach occurred at Pony Station and contact with the Foundation has been lost. Agent Bella Lawrence was given orders to enter Pony Station and retrieve the black box. Following is a transcript of the interview with Bella Lawrence.
Oh God, okay.
Alright, 105. Blood pressure 175 over 110. Experiencing mild convulsions. Administer 5 milligrams of methanol to help control blood pressure.
What's in the box, though?
Bella. The drugs seem to be taking effect. Go ahead and ask questions. I can't be certain how long she'll stay awake for.
Where's the black box, Sparrow? 3 days ago, you were tasked with investigating the situation at Site 74, Pony Station. You were assigned to retrieve the black box. Now, out with it. Where is the black box?
I brought it back. I brought the black box back.
Don't lie to us. You never brought it back.
No, that's impossible. I remember. I completed my assigned task. I swear. Shit, my head.
All right, here now. This isn't an interrogation.
It fucking feels
We're
like
not
it.
Here to lay blame or point any fingers. Bella, I'm terribly sorry to have to bother you in such a state, but it is critical that we find that black box. We need to know what happened at Pony Station.
My memory's a mess at the moment.
That's fine. We'll take it slowly, step by step. Why don't we start from the moment you received your mission? Tell us what you remember.
I'll try. That night. Currently heading to mission site 74, Pony Station. We'll arrive in about 3 minutes.
Very good, Sparrow. It's been 48 hours since the Foundation lost contact with Pony Station. SCP-701 experiments there have been ongoing. We have reason to suspect a containment breach.
What is my mission?
According to Foundation Security Regulations 709S, each site must have a black box placed in a secure area to assist in identifying the cause of an accident, should one occur. Your task is to investigate the situation and retrieve the black box.
I love the idea that
Black
she's
box?
just being briefed on this
Got
now.
Okay, I've arrived.
That's my car. Okay, sorry. One last time. I'll be right back. Let's take a proper break, actually. Hello! I've returned! Okay. How we all doing? So far, not too spooky. So far, not too spooky. I'm ready. I'm ready, Bella. What have you got going on? Girl, what was your situation? Let's do it.
I'm able to observe the mission site from here, but it doesn't seem like one of the Foundation's secure facilities.
Bro, does this girl...
Officially known as Site 74, was originally a hydroelectric power station. After it was abandoned, the Foundation repurposed it as one of their sites. Initially, it was used only to contain a few safe-level anomalies, but recently it's also taken over SCP-701. I don't know all the details. We won't know the truth until you retrieve the black box.
Got it. I'll complete the task as instructed and retrieve the black box.
This bitch just, like, doesn't use a flashlight. Bold. Device capable of measuring the fumes. Okay. Oh, there we go. Reality anchor. Capable of stabilizing the fumes of surrounding areas. Okay. Inject this blocker to stop neurotransmitters from behaving erratically. Okay, a Polaroid photo of a black cube, the objective of the mission. Okay. AD switch item. Okay. Am I misunderstanding something? Switch type. Switch item. Close. Okay. Oh. Press control to crouch. I was like, surely they don't want me to go backwards. This doesn't make any sense. Okay.
I've just entered Pony Station.
Retrieve the black box from the lab. Room 705. The elevator. 7th floor. Sparrow. Must.
What's that? Bald Eagle, you're cutting out.
Ugh.
This is out of the safe range. I'll place a reality anchor.
How do I do that? F.
Okay. Much better. Now let's find that elevator.
Oh. Okay. Today I read Dr. George Thompson's research log for SCP-701. Could it be true? Has he really been performing comparison experiments on chimpanzees this whole time? What could he have planned? Does he not realize what he's up against? This whole thing is turning out to be an ungodly mess. It's now abundantly clear why the Foundation transferred him out of Pony Station, leaving me to take over his post. He was performing the experiment all wrong. The whole direction of the project was wrong. SCP-701 holds great potential. I still believe that. I will have to adopt a new method of study. Efficient, fast, direct. It all begins tomorrow. It all begins tomorrow? Yeah, it all begins tomorrow.
Tyler Cooper. I've heard of this guy. A bit of an eccentric and a thrill seeker.
All personnel on duty shall not leave early. Absence from work is strictly prohibited. Bro, was Bella... So, literally on the drive over, Bella was told, by the way, you're trying to find the black box. It's like, okay, thanks for just telling me that now. I don't think Bella's been told what 701 is. Surely a huge part of being prepared to go into an SCP situation is knowing what the SCP is. Personnel who cannot be on duty due to special circumstances shall promptly coordinate with the relevant site director. We're personnel, I believe. This isn't like a death row inmate. All personnel shall strictly comply with the prescribed regulations and rules pertaining to the access of classified files. All personnel on duty shall fill in the inspection form truthfully and correctly. If a situation that cannot be handled independently should arise, personnel must immediately report the incident. Spare key to room 101 placed under the flower pot in the visitor's lobby. If used, please place back in its original location. Oh my god. Thanks a lot, game. Fuck you. Key needed. Okay. Why are all these here? The classic locker prank. Oh. Bruh? What's all this shit? Anyone? Okay, not that one. Oh, okay. Hey, calm down out there, huh?
All the plans, including the project schedule that follows, have been disrupted. The actors of the whole site is theirs. They managed to procure a goddamn script from God knows where, and they've taken over my laboratory accordingly. And Dr. Cooper, or whatever his name is, particular, he puts on airs every time the operation starts as if everyone should listen to him. Who does he think he is? I have to let him know who's the boss around here.
Yeah, don't spoil what the SCPs are if you look them up. Setting resource request form. Yes, we're looking for the black box. Woof. Yo, there are lots of pages everywhere. That's gotta be part of it. The fuck is that? Pardon? Hello. Why are there so many boxes that say fragile? What? No. No. Nah. No, that's okay. Why was there... Okay, so there was a doll in the locker. We just thought we saw a doll there, and now it's gone. I thought it had to... I thought it had to do with, pages. But maybe not. Look, we canonically get out of this just fine. I'm sure it's fine. Purchasing list. I'm worried about turning around. Yep, okay. Nothing? There's nothing in here? Okay. Oh, dolls. More dolls there. Pardon. Okay. Okay.
This must be the elevator. To the 7th floor, then.
What about what's in here? What's going on in here?
Blood we offered. The hanged king we served. I serve my king with my blood? Blissful suffocation, sacrifice of sin? What's this? Some kind of poem?
Ah, my head. Ah.
Uh-oh. E. Ah! Fight it off, girl! Yeah, you're a pro! You got this! Let's go, Bella!
Holy shit. I'm very familiar with cognito hazards. I've been trained to deal with them. But this wasn't anything like that. I couldn't breathe. It was like there was a knot tied around my throat. I was weightless, hanging, gasping. No matter how much I struggled, nothing helped.
That does sound terrifying. But perhaps it was just a
Agent Q, who the fuck are you?
No. We wake up from nightmares. Not from this.
Bro, both these people are dolls. Don't boo me, I'm right. Oh, and then I just went in the elevator and everything was fine.
Are you kidding me?
And everything was fine. I went in the elevator and everything was fine. Ugh. Dolls, dude. Bro, I almost got chomped by dolls. These dolls almost chomped me.
I guess I'm taking the stairs.
It's locked, bitch. How you getting up the stairs? Yeah, it was pointing at me. Two dolls. They were talking. Hey. Shut the fuck up. Stop that shit. Those two dolls were like, look at this bitch. And now they're gone. Yum, yum, yum. I love it. It all makes perfect sense and everything's fine. What?
What the
fuck was that? Sir? Hey, excuse me. Hey, excuse me, what the fuck is going on in here? The chains of fate coil like a poisonous snake. It is not only me they seek to entangle, but also you. The curse before death is frightening indeed. Petruchio, get this meddler out of my sight. Let dead men remain speechless. Petruchio extends the noose and strangles Sortino's neck. Traitor! Usurper! Hey. Stop this shit. Stop it. Knock it off. I don't like this. I'm not a fan. Oh no! Wait a minute. I don't think that was on purpose, but if it is, that's... I hate that. There's part of... He's trying to take a leak. You know, that's fair. I looked over at a different monitor and one of my windows was... My OBS window was blinking and I was like, I don't like that. Ma'am, this is the men's room. Alright, well, I'm very sorry. Oops, what does this say? Ali King? Ali King? Help? Help? Okay, lots of hannies on the wall. I don't like... It's like too... Not to complain too much, but it's like too bright in my office right now. So like, some of the things that should be super visible are not visible enough. I'm gonna try to like make it a bit darker in here if I can. Excuse me. Don't help me. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well. Is this Lord? Help. Lord. If the lives of the monarchy were to be recorded in a book, the archivist would never know a moment's rest and would evidently become overburdened with fatigue. Empress, Lord Antonio is here. What is that you say? It's blinking again! Stop it, OBS! You're freaking me out. Why would he come to see me in the convent? Go get me my very best dress at once and prepare a glass of poisoned wine! As you say, Maid Beatrice leaves. What sad truth! The dice rolls with lies and bears my name, and the martyr under this conspiracy shares my own flesh and blood. Are you gonna look at me? Yes. Goodness gracious. Why? Why is this what we're doing? Why is this what we're doing, dude?
This cognito hazard. Could it have something to do with SCP-701?
Yeah, probably.
The situation here is much more serious than I expected.
Bro, where's the black box? I don't want to do this anymore. Get me off this ride. Get me off this ride, dude. I don't want to do this shit. Let's see. I guess I'll just jump down. Shall I? I'm pretty bold turning my back to these dolls, dude. Ms. Irene Maybell, recently former assistant of Dr. Tyler Cooper, Miss Linda Amanda was demoted because of her refusal to carry out the experimental orders given by Dr. Cooper. On the 16th of, she was injected with Class A amnestics and sent away from site. To fill this role, and at the behest of Dr. Cooper himself, site management has decided to promote you to the role of senior experimental assistant. Your interview and authorization session will be held today at 13:30 hours, room 711. Please come prepared. Okay. Can I have that, please? This game is like, stop stealing everything I try to read, dude. To cover up the truth, Gonzalo orders the arrest of the three men who witness the Queen's confession and imprisons the Queen in the convent. Gonzalo then goes to have a secret meeting with Ambassador Algada. After learning the Queen's captivity, Antonio begins to plot his revenge. Sure. Stop it. I actually fucking hate that. It makes me jump every time, even though I know it's gonna happen. Gonzalo kills an eyewitness and orders the royal chef to make a stew from his body. The witness's daughter, Alinda, is then placed in the convent. Antonio and his squire enter the convent to confront the queen. She tries to kill Antonio, but he sees through her plan. She is left to suffer the consequences. As Antonio and his squire evacuate the monastery, they encounter the imprisoned Alinda. Okay. What were you doing? Requires a round handle. To do what? Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm on the mannequin side. Bella's rude. What? I haven't done shit, dude.
It's all very unusual these days. Many people have come to the site, but they haven't registered with the authorities. I've heard that Cooper and his team are rehearsing a script into a play, and that all participants are required to record their daily status.
What?
My experiment has to be put on hold because there's no one left to work on it. It's not right. I'll write an email to the minister and inform him of the malpractice going on here. Who's that?
God, he's gone. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? The Hanged King's Tragedy. What? Okay. Oops. At first, most of the on-site personnel were apprehensive about participating in the project. After distributing some SCP-701 documents to a few volunteers, they became widely circulated. The number of people coming to sign up suddenly increased. It's rather curious how it happened. I haven't quite figured out the reason behind it yet, but it's welcome news. So 701 is... The papers are 701. So there's a different SCP? The doll one is a different one, maybe? It's rather curious how it happened. I haven't quite figured out the reason behind it, but it's welcome news. I'll take it as a good omen. I've managed to mobilize the entire station to participate, every single person. It's my chance to prove myself. An opportunity like this doesn't come every day. I have 2 out of 3, 4 out of 8, 2 out of 4, and 3 out of 7. Oh gosh. 3 out of 7? Oof. Okay.
Why would Dr. Cooper need so many volunteers? And what on earth is this SCP-701?
Why wouldn't they brief her on that? Why wouldn't they tell her that? That has got to be part of the whole process. Is like telling them. Oh my god. Ahem. Yeah? Really? You don't say... Okay. Okay. It's good to know.
Finally, luck is on my side. This ought to get me to the 7th floor.
What? 3rd floor? 4th floor? Wait, it goes down? Wait, I'm so confused. Okay. Group rehearsal. Girl, learn how to climb. For real. Wait, what? Oh my god.
What the hell is going on here? 4th floor again? The way out of here might have something to do with these clocks.
Okay. What time was rehearsal? Final performance 9 p.m. Oh my god, this is gonna take forever. Why did it ding just then? 7:46. Okay. $7:46. 7:46 and then 11:11. And then 9 p.m. It's acting a little goofy.
I've never seen such a weird guy before. Situation like this.
Oh, great, that's closed. That's fine then. Did they really need a keypad after all that? Well, you know.
What is that smell? When was the last time I cleaned this place?
Bro, there's people in there. I don't like it. Not sharp, but it works.
That voice again.
Shocked that the 3 websites I looked at didn't mention that as a warning.
Blissful suffocation.
Tell us what it
Sacrifice
says.
of sin. No.
Bella, are you feeling better now?
No. I feel terrible.
Suffocation. Like a rope looped around my neck, pulling tight. Weightless. Hanging. Nothing around me. Just my feet dangling. Struggling. Fighting. It will swallow me and make me its slave.
Bella, you are completely safe here. Nothing can hurt you. Okay. Let's
Doubt.
continue.
Anyway, back to the box, Bella, even though you're having an obvious mental breakdown right now.
Much worse. I knew I had to get in touch with the Foundation. I managed to find a phone, and I called her backup.
Yeah, odd that you're not mentioning that, guys.
This is Sparrow, 09868, for Bald Eagle. I'm at Pony Station on the 7th floor. The situation here is much worse than expected. I need backup.
Bella, are you sure this is actually what happened?
What do you mean? Yes. Of course I'm sure.
Come on, Bella. Try and focus.
What are you talking about?
Where would I have found a
Bella.
phone?
You never made that phone call.
Of course I... What?
Pony Station was completely cut off. There was no contact with the outside world whatsoever. A phone call? That would have been impossible.
No, but I saw...
What did you see, Bella? Tell us what you saw.
Bro, this good cop, bad cop thing is not working for me. I do not like it. Hey, who are you? Can I open this? Great. Should I run, I guess? Oh. I should have kept going, damn. Okay. How do I get away from you? I was running. How do I get away? This is as fast as I can go. Maybe I don't run. Maybe I run at it. Come on, bitch, let's go. Ooh, I don't like that. Never mind. Ooh, I didn't like that. That was awful. Never mind. Oof. Wow. Okay, that didn't. But wait, he's really fast. What am I meant to do? Shut the door, maybe? Can I shut the door? No. I'm gonna die. My bad, guys. Hey. Oh, okay, I got through that. How come I didn't get through that before? Ah! Okay. Whoa, what's going on? What's happening? Oh my god, I dove. I dove, dude.
Paul never said anything about that. Bastard.
Oh, we're still going, huh? God, this lady is dedicated to her job. Jesus. Okay.
Looks like something bad happened here.
Yeah, no shit. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I'm being really aggressive with you, Bella. You're just trying to live, dude. Multi-object project. Yep. Okay. SCP blank, blank, and blank. The experiment primarily focused on researching the process of reality distortion. The project lasted for a duration of 5 days. During the first 3, 2 Rorschach tests were conducted on these 2 SCPs. A level 3 hypnosis experiment was conducted on 3 level D personnel influenced by SCP blank. Within a short period of time, the experimental subjects revealed varying degrees of immersion state. On the 4th day, claimed being in a primary forest. The trees here are sequoia and Pinus carabea. On the same day, the hume level of the surrounding environment was decreased to 37. On the 5th day, the described scene began to invade reality, causing the original experiment site and 6 experimental subjects to go missing. The project was forced to be suspended. There are no further investigation reports concerning this area. Dr. Thompson believes the experiment was primarily influenced by the reality-distorting effects of SCP blank and thus can be considered its creation. A detailed experiment record can be found in internal document site 105. Okay. So they believe... Interesting. So they had 3 different SCPs here. They believe that one sort of created another one, I guess.
We're evacuating. Damn it. After the show, everyone went crazy. Some hacked themselves. Some killed each other like beasts. And that damn evil white monster. This was all destined to happen when he brought in that script. Everything that happened here is all Cooper's fault. It's their fault! This will be the last recording from the experiment. The hydropower plant was shut down forever. And no doubt my experiment will also... What's going on? What's going on? Ah!
Oh, it was just a little... Oh, I'm sure he's fine. Electricity needed. Okay. 701 scripts have been out for a week now. The participants have had minor rehearsals as described above. One thing continues to baffle me. They always seem to recite the wrong lines. Every single person. It's strange, almost like it's orchestrated. When I try to correct them, they become defensive, insisting they read the correct line. But other than that minor hiccup, everything else went well. In a, in a situation where you're trying to track reality warping, you're like, I'm sure it's fine. They keep reading the wrong line, but whatever. I'm very much looking forward to the first full rehearsal in 705 the day after next. After the full rehearsal, all will bear witness to the potential of SCP-701 and my name will become synonymous with it. Tyler Cooper, the genius behind the experiment who managed to tap its endless potential. Yikes.
Rehearsals? A play? What is up with this SCP-701 experiment?
Oh. Local time, 5 students were involved in a collective blank incident at the Cleveland Institute of Arts Drama Club in Ohio. Another faculty member died of stab wounds. A janitor was taken into custody as a suspect in the incident. His statement mentioned 4 students used the blank from the ceiling during rehearsals. This was then repeated by the last remaining person after they assaulted the teacher. The teacher died 2 hours later. Following a forensic investigation of the scene, it was determined that the janitor had no clear motive for committing the crime. He's currently undergoing further observation in a psychiatric hospital. Okay. To all personnel of Pony Station, research on SCP-701 will officially begin tomorrow. In order to prevent the dissemination of classified information, all video surveillance equipment has been removed, and all external signal transmissions have accordingly been blocked. The site will be kept under closed-loop management procedures until the conclusion of the research experiment. At present, the experiment is still in need of more participants. All willing participants can find Miss Irene Mabel in the archives room on the 4th floor to fill the necessary paperwork. Okay. That scared me. Can Clark scare her? What, you want my child to come out and scare me? Joke's on you, she's at school. Take that. Gonzalo obtains poison from Ambassador Alagata and plans to hold a banquet to poison the ministers. Later on, Gonzalo is faced to contend with his conscience. In a monologue, he describes his remorse for his crime, but he knows there's nothing he can do about it. Antonio, Alinda, and the squire escape from the convent, and Antonio promises Alinda that he will exact his revenge and marry her as the new queen. Okay. Oops. Really quickly, let's add, because I get the feeling that visual is probably going to pop up again. Let's add suicidal imagery. Specifically hanging, at least for now. Save. Okay. Okay. Pardon? I don't like that. Yeah, totally understand. If you need to go because of the flashing or the images or any of that, I totally get it. Oh my god, they're each gonna just fall apart as I get close to them. Okay. Ah! Bro? Game was like, yeah, getting cocky, huh? I was getting cocky, game. Thank you for humbling me. At the banquet, Antonio bursts in and confirms Gonzalo's murderous crime, as well as his own lineage. Gonzalo is deposed by an angry group of ministers. Instead of killing Gonzalo, Antonio exiles him to the convent. Antonio then orders his squire to plan his wedding with Alinda, and the play ends with a dance by the group of courtiers. Okay. Laboratory work rules! The do's and don'ts of safety! Alright, look at all these goofballs. Oh! There's a lot of papers on the ground.
They're all going to the same place.
Yes, they are. They're going to the play, dude. Have you been reading the same documents as me? They've got a play to get to, homie. They're gonna, I don't know, watch a bunch of people hang themselves. It's gonna, I mean, I guess, you know, maybe these dolls are super into that. And then their baby must be, it must be the doll's baby. This is so weird to talk about. It must be the doll's baby. And their baby is the one that runs at you, right? Chain baby? Chain baby must be the doll's baby, right? Surely. Okay. This is fine.
The black box.
Huh? Oh, it's just up on the stage. Oh, Lord. Okay. They know what I want, dude. I don't like that. They're like, here you go. It's just for you. You're welcome. Those seats will definitely remain empty. Yeah, these seats won't be filled with dolls in a minute. It's gonna be fine. Ahem. All right. Yep. So on edge. I'm so on edge. I don't like it. I I don't like it. They let me just pick it up and leave. I hate it. Why? Why did they let me just pick it up and leave? What's gonna chase me, dude? I'm so upset. Wow, that job went fine. I can't wait to go home and be totally fine. Okay. Well, let's go. Let's go. Let's leave. Let's leave. Bye. Oh my god. Was this my memory?
Bella, we really need you to tell us the truth here.
What do you mean? I'm telling you the truth. I completed my task. I retrieved the black box from Pony Station.
Looks like the
Two of you said, Chrissy, wake up.
What are you talking about? I'm fine.
Bella, there was no black box in sight when we found you.
That's impossible. I'm positive. I know I had it in the escape elevator.
And there is no escape elevator in Pony Station. None of what you're saying adds up.
I hate this good cop, bad cop shit.
That's impossible. It's just impossible.
Look at me, Bella. Try and focus. What really happened?
I don't want... Can I just be done? Can Bella be done? Let Bella rest, dude.
Bella, think carefully.
No. Oh, god damn it. I love all of it.
Fuck, not again.
What am I supposed to do? He just wants to be friends. He's just really rough, dude. Okay. Well, I guess I could turn around. Is that what I need to do? Nope. Oh, okay. Okay. I dislike this story. Look, if we do it enough times, it's, you know, we'll stop caring. No, hey, come on! I was trying to bait and switch this boy. Maybe if I stand still. Nope. He's like, you're not a mannequin. You're not made of wood. You goofball. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Wait, how did I get all that? How did I get that far? How did I get that far? My hands are shaking now as I write. This experiment, the exciting avenues ahead, although some sections stray from the original SCP-701 script, everyone remained perfectly in character, wholly consumed in the act. The audience, too, seemed to be entirely absorbed in the performance. A strange thing, though, I noticed a certain something, a person, perhaps, appear on the stage. He was not one of our original members. He was quiet and reserved, rather friendly. A tribute to Ambassador Algada. It must be the truth, the splendid, magnificent truth. Hang the traitors. One and one hang the betrayal and the ignorance. Together with the noose, hang them to alert all the world. Cheers and cheers all around for our great king. Let us bask in this glory. Together we follow him. The blood of fools we offer to thee, hanged king. The writing that follows is obscured by blood.
So SCP-701 is a script.
Right.
One performance and now all of Pony Station is ruined. Dr. Cooper, what have you done?
A well-constructed handmade doll, SCP-049. Okay. I'm sure that's fine.
It's those mannequins again. Where are they heading? But where have all those volunteers gone?
King of Trinculo passes away and the king's brother Gonzalo succeeds him as the new king. At the coronation, the drunken queen confesses she colluded with Gonzalo to kill the old king and hang his body from a tree. The queen goes on to confess that the great nobleman Antonio is in fact the son of the old king, and as such has legitimate claim to the throne. Antonio scoffs at this, but upon returning to the inn, he meets the ghost of the old king, who confirms everything the queen has said. Blood we offered, the hanged king we served. I serve my king with my blood. Blissful suffocation, sacrifice of sin. Very neat. Very cool. normal stuff. I love that some of them are like attacking each other and some of them are just like casually walking up the stairs. Yeah. Yep, here we go.
Holy fuck. I guess this is the ending of their performance.
Bella. Bella!
SCP-701. The Hanged King's Tragedy.
What?
I serve my king. Who's there? My blood.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Sacrifice his head and seek redemption with his blood.
So they started to like
Kill him! Kill him! A despicable usurper does not deserve the glorious crown!
they started to act out the play in real life after the actual play happened.
What the hell is going on? It's the goddamn cognito hazard again. I need to leave right now.
Are we sure? Are we sure it's the cognito hazard and I'm not just a mannequin now? I'm sure this is very, like, visually difficult for some of you who are watching. Like, because of the way things are moving and the flashing and everything, but like, it looks very cool. No, don't, come on, you don't need to do anything weird. Look at this one. He's ready to go, dude.
I need to leave.
Yeah, it's kind of stop motion-y. Yeah, exactly.
Damn it.
This is Secret Files, yep. We're on story number 2, I guess. Because the first story was like the training story. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We're in it. We're stuck. Shit.
With my blood, I serve my king. 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 With my blood, I serve my king.
Oh! I fought it off. I fought it off, dude. Hell yeah, Bella.
Her condition is unstable. I've just injected her with a sedative, but you need to let her rest for a while.
Thanks, Doctor. Well, let's go then.
What? We haven't found the black box yet.
You still don't get it, do you?
Get what? What do you mean?
A black box is merely a vehicle for recording the truth. But a black box isn't always a black box.
You mean...
That's right. She is now the black box. Got time
Oh
for a
my
cold
god.
one? Because our work here is done.
Well, I still look like I'm made of skin. For now.
I serve my king with my blood. Blissful suffocation. Sacrifice of sin.
Well.
The black box has been properly contained at Site 105 and pending further investigation. Above is the full record of the inquiry.
Okay. Hanged King's Tragedy, a 5-act revenge tragedy from the Caroline era, is SCP-701. Performances of the play are associated with psychotic and suicidal behavior amongst both audience members and participants, in addition to the appearance of a mysterious character, SCP-701-1. Historical estimates place the number of lives claimed by the play at 168 and 173 over the past 300 years. Typical case study of SCP-701 incident took place on May 27, 2009 during a group test experiment. The presiding project research leader at the time was Dr. Tyler. According to research logs, 701 is a self-evolving mimetic virus. It spreads through unknown means via dramatic text. Pony Station is currently under a full-scale lockdown. Archives pertaining to SCP-701 are scattered through the site. That is indeed a valuable question, sir. According to our investigation of Bella, the data is no longer considered complete. The black box is the only reliable recording containing the entirety of the research contents. She is the sole complete database of SCP-701. Okay. Oh, it's much longer than that. They don't always end with an outbreak. Of the blank recorded performance, only 36.78% have ended in events. According to historical records and investigations, these outbreaks generally follow the same pattern. 1 to 2 weeks prior to the event during the dress rehearsal period, cast members will begin to spontaneously deviate from the published text of the play. Rather than improvisation or gaffes associated with going off script, said deviations will be both orderly and consistent, as if the actors were working off of a new version of the script. The cast and production crew will seem unaware of any change. If it's brought to their attention, they'll state the play has run that way from the beginning. 2 to 3 hours prior to the event, the outbreak generally occurs during opening night or else at the production of the greatest planned attendance, generally falling within the first week after the play's opening. 1 to 2 hours before the event, SCP-701-1 begins to appear on the stage in the final scene of Act 1, generally in the background or to the side of the main action. It may seem to enter or exit the stage area, but does not appear or ever enter the backstage or offstage area. It simply disappears if it is not on stage. The cast does not appear to notice or comment on SCP-701-1, at least at first. SCP-701-1 appears fully on stage during the banquet scene of Act 5. Here, it will be incorporated into the action of the play as the Hanged King. The cast will either murder each other or commit suicide, sometimes using items that seem to appear spontaneously on stage. Rioting breaks out in the audience. Viewers randomly attack anyone in front of them regardless of prior relationship. Following the event, if any of the audience members survive the initial outbreak, they may exit the performance space, in which case they will continue to engage in random or opportunistic violence. Yeah, I think 701-1 is the chain boy. Victims will generally require sedation or restraint in this scenario. Normal personality will begin to return roughly 24 hours after the event. Surviving victims will generally exhibit signs consistent with the traumatic experience. Some will have no recollection of the event. Others may be rendered permanently comatose or psychotic. For a typical case study of an outbreak, see Incident Report SCP-701-19, blah, blah, blah. Last uncontained 701 event during a high school drama performance. Oh no. Full-scale research on 701 took place on May 19th, 2011 during a group test experiment. Project research, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Foundation agents are under standing orders to suppress any performance or publication of SCP-701 whenever found or detected. Despite our best efforts to the contrary, however, the play remains freely available online, sometimes under different titles. All attempts to detect or isolate the origin of these copies have failed. Suppression of the play's publication has generally been successful, with most copies of a 1971 scholarly edition destroyed before distribution. Nonetheless, copies of the 1965 trade paperback turn up with some regularity in both college and high school libraries. Agents are to obtain or otherwise destroy these items whenever possible. Okay, last one. She's the sole complete database. Oh, okay. All materials are to be kept in a triple locked archive. At no time are any of these items to be removed from the room. Access to the area is to be heavily monitored. No personnel whatsoever is to be granted access to the archive without the express in-person permission of the doctors. Removal of these items from the site is strictly prohibited. At present, the most complete source of data is preserved in Black Box 701-03. Original name, Bella Lawrence. No, she's just an art. She's just... Oh my god. Let Bella live, dude. I was a bit confused at first, but I got over it. Good, says Zoe. Have to admit, you're no worse than I expected. Fuck off, Ghent. How about a taco night? Are we really using a living being as a tool to contain anomalous objects? Hey, MIT boy, I've seen a great many field agents. They are prepared to sacrifice themselves at any time in order to complete a task. Secure, contain, protect. For them, it's a creed worth paying the ultimate price for. It's our duty to record all of this truthfully and honestly so that people may remember them forever. Fucking chill out, Ghent. Anyway. You completed your first mission smoothly. We should celebrate. How about going for a drink? Old place. Count me in. You know what? I'm busy now, actually. Sounds cool, but I'm not going to drink too much. How about taco night? Or donut night? To celebrate the completion of my first ever archive mission, my colleagues threw a small party. It all started to grow on me. My colleagues, this place. I started to really enjoy all of it. Maybe it was all the drinking. I dreamt I was lost in a strange cave. It was dark and damp and smelled of decay, and in the depths of the darkness, I saw at all times 2 red dots monitoring my every move. What a strange dream. Oh, God. Tequila, too strong of a drink. I need an espresso to sober me up. An earthen womb? Oh my god. SCP-660 may be safely stored in a standard safe deposit box, provided its mouth remains covered with a Perspex disc and sealed with tamper-proof tape. Log of tests involving human experimentation with SCP-660. Skin flap harvested from the left thigh of cadaver D612. Donor was healthy in all respects prior to death. Tissue sample left in SCP-660 for 2 months duration. Result: daily biopsies indicate viability of sample. Cell samples taken from tissue graft are cultured in vitro, revealing a predisposition toward precancerous and cancerous growth. Skin flap harvested from the left thigh of cadaver D612. Tissue sample left in SCP-660 for 2 months duration, grafted onto the torso of a D-class personnel with second and third degree burns. The recipient's anomaly testing record had no contraindications with SCP-660. Tissue graft takes without complication, healing according to usual steps of adherence, serum inhibition, and revascularization. However, as is common with severe burn cases, the compromised skin barrier led to infection and eventually fatal septic shock. Postmortem biopsy and analysis indicate skin graft would have returned to full histological structure and function had the recipient survived. Live member of Musculus house mouse. Biopsy strain acquired for laboratory testing by use of SCP blank. The consciousness of D614 was implanted into the specimen. D614 was chosen for his demonstrated resistance to the negative effects of prolonged isolation and sensory deprivation. Specimen left in SCP-660 for 2 months duration. Unusually, SCP blank was incapable of restoring D614's consciousness to its original body after removal from SCP-660. A computer interface was developed to facilitate two-way communication with D614. An interview was conducted once 614 was familiarized with this interface. An excerpt is included below. Dr. Brown, I guess I'll have to take your word for it. How did that feel? D614, suffocating and stretching. Could you be more specific? How the hell do you think it felt? Even mice need to grow and move and live. Every part of me was straining, but I was stuck. I thought I would explode. Full contents of the interview are classified. An autopsy revealed precancerous growths throughout the mouse's body. Right arm lost in traumatic amputation just beneath the elbow. 778 was severely injured in an incident involving an SCP. Lost limb recovered as a part of cleanup operation. Subject would not have survived immediate reattachment surgery due to other injuries involving several severe vascular compromise. Severed extremity preserved in 660 in bid to preserve tissue viability. Right arm successfully reattached to previous owner. Subject reports return of sensation in fingers of right hand, contrary to poor prognosis due to severe tissue avulsion and nerve damage sustained in initial injury. Biopsy reveals little to no precancerous cell growth. Transplant ruled a tentative success. D778 has been retained for further observation. Human testing with 660 is suspended due to the sudden death of 778 from teratoma with malignant transformation. I've seen fetus in fetu before, but never have I had one try to grab my probe during an autopsy. As of today, 660-1 has been neutralized. Oh my god, all these SCPs having babies, dude. 660 no longer exhibits any other forms or shapes. It has been classified as safe by the Foundation. 660-1 will be transferred to the Reliquary Research Institute. Details available to personnel with clearance 4 out of 660. Okay. An earthen womb. Okay. A human it was a baby. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Composition of 660 is consistent with generic earthenware clays. Irregular earthenware urn. The interior is coated with dried mammalian uterine tissue, similar to human endometrial lining. DNA testing is inconclusive. 660 is capable of indefinitely preserving all biological tissue placed within it, regardless of external conditions or the state of the sample until the tissues are removed. Living tissue will remain viable. Living organisms will remain alive, even when deprived of sustenance for extended periods of time. While the exact mechanism responsible for this is uncertain, isotopic labeling has shown that it involves the exchange of biological matter between the sample and 660's interior coating. Cell cultures from tissues preserved in 660 retain an abnormally high rate of cell replication. Several samples have tested positive for precancerous markers in smear tests. 660-1 was a human fetus originally found in 660, most likely having been sealed in the artifact for at least 6,600 years. But 660-1 immediately underwent a massive transformation upon removal, additionally developing several blank consistent with anthropogenic blank progression. 660-1 is most likely neutralized. Details are available to personnel with clearance 4 of 660. Recovery. 660 was originally recovered from an archaeological dig where it was found in a purported grave site among a number of other mundane artifacts. A beeswax seal covering the mouth of 660 was dislodged during the excavation process, revealing 660-1, after which the site was secured by the Foundation. The notes of the doctor, presumed deceased, enabled the isolation of 660 from the rest of the artifacts. All right. And it's safe. It's totally safe. No problems. 0 problems. Object class. Safe. Okay. Object class Euclid. Be contained in the valley adjacent to Bioresearch Area 12, an area over 2 kilometers squared. Area surrounding SCP-143. All lines of sight from the surrounding hilltops are to be denied public access. 143 is a plantation of 300 specimens of a unique type of tree. The trees are similar in appearance to Prunus x Yodonsis, a Japanese sakura or cherry blossoms. They bear no fruit. The only known way of reproduction is by careful own root propagation using cut saplings from an older sample. The petals are a light pinkish color, slightly translucent, and with a texture of smooth glass. Care must be taken when handling the petals as their edges are razor sharp and can easily slice through flesh if mishandled. Trees were grown on site from saplings obtained from parent plants located in Nara Prefecture, Japan in 1905. The parent trees were owned by a family of traditionalist swordsmiths, claiming to be descended from a legendary sword maker named Amakuni. They referred to the original trees as Jinki no Kodachi, or the Bladewood Grove. It is from them that the Foundation gained the techniques to cut and work the wood and petals into serviceable items. To be watered twice every day on a regular basis via a large sprinkler system, unless already watered by local precipitation. Personnel are not allowed to enter the enclosure without level 4 administrative clearance and are advised not to touch any of it nor stand beneath them unless wearing proper protective gear. It's important that no one be within the containment area when it begins to shed. However, after the shedding has concluded, the collection of the petals for testing purposes has been authorized by the project director. Trees are still in Japan, owned by the government, still tended to by the same family. The government has denied all existence of the trees. Any products made from them are kept within the country. 143 is to be watered twice every day. Document 143-A. We lost 3 staff to 143 today. They were collecting petals dropped by the tree the previous day when a sudden gust picked up, shaking a good deal of the petals from the trees and blowing them around. Stayed that windy for the whole day. I'd send a cleanup crew, but it's still pretty windy and the odd petal is still falling. We have to pick up the remains when the wind dies down in a couple of days. Yikes. Wood and bark are a light grayish color with a texture expected of wood, although the grain is very smooth to the touch. The petals and wood of these trees are much harder than most natural or man-made substances, reaching up to 5,000 HB on the Brinell scale and withstanding temperatures of up to 1,800 degrees Celsius. The weight-to-strength ratio surpassed even that of titanium, being some 15% lighter than aluminum. Despite this hardness, the wood and petals are quite supple and are as pliable as most woods are. Damn, them trees kind of dangerous. Yeah. Both are notoriously difficult to work due to their properties, but under high temperatures, upwards of 1,500 degrees Celsius, separating pieces are capable of being fused together. They make excellent armor, shielding, and weapons. Due to the slow growth of the plants, the material is slow to harvest, although the petals are shed regularly enough, falling from the tweez twice a wheel. Hardness test, withstanding temperatures, weight to strength ratio. Okay. Any access to 261 must be approved by staff. Items dispensed by 261 should be reviewed by site health and safety officials before consumption. Failure to do so releases the Foundation from any obligation. 800 yen entered for each item. Items being dispensed every 2 minutes. 261 attached to power. Is it a vending machine? 261 may be used a maximum of 10 times per 24-hour period, no transaction value exceeding the equivalent of 500 Japanese yen. However, in view of the necessity of this experiment, the Foundation has approved Dr. Blank's request to use it at high frequency. Coke Zero, Cheetos, Black, a single pack of caffeinated chewing gum, Yan, Pepsi Dragon Twist, Dark Side Cola, a little bakery 7 grain, a small tube the size of a candy bar with a green button made of aluminum, packing in English. When the top is twisted off, a mass of dough is extruded. Dough contains several enzymes and bacteria that have not yet been identified. On contact with air, these cause the dough to rise and bake, killing the microbes in the process. Produces a small round loaf of bread weighing 250 grams. Taste is described as good but chewy. Lemon clams, thick plastic baggie with a plastic tube on the side containing water and 12 clams, packaging in Dutch. Following on-package instructions, the plastic tube was cracked like a glow stick. Liquid in the bag flashed to steam, venting from a hole that popped open in the top of the bag, slightly burning one researcher. Steaming finished after 38 seconds, after which clams were found to be fully cooked, infused with a mild lemon flavor. Clams match no recorded species. Diet Ghost, a can containing an instance of SCP-2107. Packaging was in English. Testing done on this instance provided similar results to other contained instances of 2107. This marks the first time 261 has vended another SCP. Small mesh bag filled with small multicolored pyramids. Packaging in an unknown language. Pyramids found to be very hard and unpleasant tasting compared to chalk in taste and consistency. When placed in hot water, pyramids open and produce strings that quickly dissolve, coloring the water the same shade as the pyramid. Water had no additional taste, but testing revealed a sharp increase in mineral, carbohydrate, and protein content, with several minerals unidentified at the present time. This content was found to be consistent with the recommended daily intake of nutrients for adult humans. Researcher ingesting the water reported stomach cramps 2 hours later. No other effects. Aluminum box with a small glass window on the side and a large round button on the top. Packaging in an unknown language. Box is seamless, appears to be filled with small round animals covered in fur, each with 3 small paws and a single large eye. Pressing the button causes the inside of the box to rapidly become superheated, cooking the animals alive. Muffled noises and scratching are heard for several seconds during the cooking process. After 1 minute 30 seconds, the front panel opens and gives access to now cooked animals. Professor Kane volunteered to eat the animals. No other researchers willing to do so. Taste described as crunchy and spicy. Tall, thin aluminum can, packaging in an unknown language. Opening the can caused a chemical reaction with the liquid inside the can. Liquid was apparently not intended for an oxygenated atmosphere. Detonated violently, causing several injuries, killing 2 researchers. Testing discontinued, area cleared. It was either food or drinks, nothing else. How awful. Let's call it an end. Okay. Currently, maybe used only 10 times. Right. Should be reviewed by site health and safety officials before consumption. Failure to do so releases the Foundation for any obligation regarding negative effects. Appears to be a large black vending machine with no front glass panel and a small keypad. 261 was recovered in Yokohama, Japan. Was brought to the Foundation's attention after investigation of an urban legend about a magic vending machine that was circulating on the internet. 261 was found in a back alley behind a large shopping center with a handwritten sign saying out of order in Japanese taped to it. 261 has no marks or identification of any kind. No locals remember when or how it came to be in its current location. Internally, 261 appears to be a basic vending machine equipped to vend food and beverage items. After a key was made and the front door was opened, no abnormal materials were found. It was determined that 261 has never actually contained any food or beverage items. The keypad, while connected and operating correctly, does not activate any of the dispensing mechanisms. When money is placed into 261 and a 3-digit number is entered on the keypad, it will vend a random item. 261 has not accepted any currency other than yen, with rejected currency being deposited in the coin return slot. It's unknown how these items appear, however. 261 will not operate when the door is open or when recording devices are placed inside. The number entered on the keypad has no effect on the item vended, nor has any pattern been detected. Items are always some form of snack food and typically have bright, attention-grabbing packaging. 261 is capable of operating with no external power supply, but operation in this state will cause unstable vending to occur much more quickly than normal. If SCP-261 is used several times in a short period of time or large amounts of money are entered before an item is vended, it will start to dispense bizarre items. While still food, their suitability for human consumption is often non-existent. Did this not get added? No, it looks like it did. What did I miss? Oh, this? Yeah, there we go. Okay, what was that? Doesn't look like anything else was added. Okay. Yay, I did it. 5 minutes to 4 now. Just about ready. Gent, you're not coming? Nah. Doesn't suit me. What are you talking about? Hi, Carl. We're going to attend the monthly lecture. Monthly lecture? Doesn't suit me, says Gent. Each month, the Foundation invites someone famous to hold a lecture to share new knowledge and insights pertaining to SCP. For this month's lecture, they invited Dr. Trevor. He holds a high reputation within the Foundation. Okay, let's go. I'll send you the link to the monthly lecture. Just a sec. Daniel and Dragon? Is that it? Okay. Let's go.
There are many stories in this world. Some are read widely all over the world. Some are hidden in dust and known only by a handful of people.
Is this
Today I'm going
Daniel?
to tell you a story no one else has heard before. A real story of
Daniel
mystery
and the dragon?
and wonder and adventure. And then you too will become the guardian of this story.
Yeah.
The story takes place in a world of long ago. The hero of our story is a little boy. His name is Daniel.
Neat. Go on.
One day, out of nowhere, Daniel got a serious case of chickenpox. It made him look like a strawberry. To make sure he didn't spread it to others, Mrs. Page, the principal, had him isolate in an attic. And so, in the attic he lived, all on his own.
It's making it sound like it was lifelong. It's just chickenpox, homie.
Mr. Daniel, while up here in this attic, You'll have plenty of time to practice your penny whistle.
What's a penny whistle?
I hope you'll practice well and prepare for next month's
Oh, poor
art
Daniel. Look at this
festival.
kid.
But Mrs. Page, the melody is so difficult.
Don't give up, boy. You don't give up before you fight.
Okay.
Daniel was reluctant at first, but he trusted Mrs. Page, and he knew he should listen. And so he practiced the penny whistle.
Oh my god. Oh no. Fucking crushed it.
Suddenly, he heard some strange noises in the corner of the attic.
Huh? Who's there?
Daniel decided to go over and take a look.
Oh. Oh, no. Is it a dragon?
It was a mousetrap, and there was a red origami paper dragon inside of it.
Oh no. Beep beep.
Daniel carefully removed it. It was marvelous and beautiful. The only problem was part of its wing was damaged. But Daniel found a way to repair it.
Choose items to repair the dragon.
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
Cute.
Daniel held the repaired paper dragon high up in the air.
This is why I was saying.
Imagining that
a
it
lot of the
soared
stories are like different
over
styles.
all the world
a lot of the
below.
reviews said that.
He played and played with the paper dragon.
Wee! Woo! Dragon! Soar!
In the warm afternoon sun, Daniel had to fight his eyelids just to keep them open.
Where are all of his chicken pox?
Could it be? Or is this all just a dream?
The next day, with boredom and loneliness weighing him down, he began to fiddle with the old radio.
Yeah?
Our town is located in the plains, where earthquakes are not particularly common. Although there are 17 fault zones around us, they are all inactive.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you, radio, for that.
A scrunched up ball of paper rolled over to his feet.
Where did this paper ball come from?
Just as Daniel went to pick it up, the ball suddenly came to life, and it rolled away. Daniel chased after it.
Come back here, you goofball. Come back here, goofy guts.
Just as he was about to seize the rolling paper ball, suddenly, terrible sparks erupted from it. Before his very eyes, the paper ball began to grow, bigger and bigger. At that moment, a red figure suddenly appeared.
The dragon! It saved
The red
me!
figure quickly subdued the paper ball and threw it into a cardboard box. Daniel studied the red figure carefully. It had a sticker on its fluttering wing. It was the paper dragon.
I wasn't dreaming. Thank you for saving me.
Daniel was grateful and very happy. He walked closer to the paper dragon, but the paper dragon seemed timid and afraid and backed away. Just then, Daniel had an idea. He took out his penny whistle and slowly played a tune.
Oh no, okay. Okay. What? Why?
The paper dragon enjoyed the sound very much. It began to move along with the rhythm, flipping up and down in the air. Soon the two were playing and dancing, just like old friends.
Nope, same game.
The paper dragon traced out a beautiful arc in the air, communicating with Daniel in a unique way.
My cherished friend.
Oh.
After many long years, we finally meet again. Tell me, how has your family been? A great thank you for playing that music for me. You know how I love the beautiful rhythm of that instrument. But we ought to take precautions, as the room is not stable. Do you still remember how the room works? You're welcome to visit any time.
The piece of paper
Oof.
then changed back into the shape of a paper dragon and flew into the cardboard box. The box closed shut, and a calm silence was restored to the attic.
Okay.
Daniel rushed to find a watercolor pen and marked the box with excitement in his fingertips.
Here be dragons. God damn it.
Over the next few days, the paper dragon came out often to play with Daniel. During this time, Daniel introduced many of his friends to the paper dragon.
I thought the whole reason he was up in this room was to isolate from other kids.
That cat's name is Mrs. Carter. Ever since I secretly fed her some fish for dinner, we've been good friends. That's Duke, Mrs. Jessica's pet. He doesn't like rainy days or Mrs. Carter. Only smoked sausages fit his taste.
He likes smoked sausages, got it.
And now, we are friends too. My name is Daniel. What's your name?
The paper dragon flapped its wings, as if it didn't understand him.
Well, since Since you like the sound of the penny whistle so much, why don't I just call you Penny?
Cute!
I'll keep practicing to make it sound better.
Please don't make me practice.
Daniel and Penny then played baseball together in the attic.
Let's play cat.
Oh. Oop. Oh, I see.
But just as they were in the middle of enjoying themselves, a violent shaking suddenly rose from the ground.
No! Let them be happy!
The stubborn earthquake is back at it, folks, and it seems even stronger than last time.
At this moment, the box suddenly shot open, and thick clouds of smoke billowed out, followed by several paper balls.
No!
Penny attacked the paper balls without a moment's hesitation and promptly threw them back into the box. Penny then flew around in front of Daniel and rushed right back into the box. As the box closed, the earthquake stopped. Facing a friend's farewell without a formal goodbye, Daniel felt confused and lost. He moved the box to the center of the attic. Facing it, he practiced his penny whistle day in and day out. As the days went by, Daniel's playing became smoother. One day, the box suddenly began to move.
Nani?
1, 2, 3,
Dragons!
4. This time there were 4 paper dragons. But they weren't alone. Enemies began to jump out of the box too.
Earthquake! Another earthquake! This time it's reached a magnitude of 5.8!
In that small attic, the 4 paper dragons fought fiercely against the paper balls. This time, the paper balls used new tactics. They clumped together into a single monstrous ball of paper. It began to shoot strong bursts of electric sparks at the paper dragons as they flew through the air. As they were hit, the paper dragons fell from the air, one after the other. Seeing the injured paper dragons, Daniel felt very distressed and anxious.
Yeah.
Just then, one of the paper dragons painfully started to fly and gathered the remainder of its power. The paper dragon transformed into a great beam of light and dove straight down to pierce through the monstrous paper ball. And then came another paper dragon. The monstrous paper ball was blasted to bits, exploding into smaller paper balls. Trembling, they struggled to escape back into the box. The sacrificed paper dragons were reduced to swirling shreds of paper, and a silence pervaded. Peace and tranquility were restored once again to the attic. Daniel saw the remaining 2 paper dragons lying on the floor, badly wounded. He rushed to grab some stickers and treated them at once.
Oh, this is so sad.
Suddenly, countless paper dragons began to gush from the box. The 2 wounded paper dragons were repaired and began to fly. Like 2 colored threads, they merged with the other dragons, flying in unison. The dragons moved like a tide, flying freely through the attic. Daniel eagerly took out his penny whistle. He showed all his paper dragon friends the results of his hard work and practice.
Oh no. Oh no. The results of all my practice, dude. So loud. For you, my dragon friends.
In the sweet melody of his playing, Daniel felt himself enter into the world of dragons.
What? 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 Penny? It was Skyrim all along. I knew it!
The paper dragons merged into a long letter and floated down towards Daniel to tell their story.
Oh, okay. So you're finally awake.
After the last war,
Oh.
the fantasy world enjoyed a long spell of peace and stability. But now, the giants have returned.
Are the balls of paper giants?
Ferocious attacks, trying to invade your world through the room. We are prepared to launch the final defense. Then we will have to destroy your room, for it is the last remaining entryway into your world.
Aww.
Please believe this farewell will only be temporary. We will not be apart forever. And we will never forget our eternal mission of protecting you.
Oh my god, imagine the ego on Daniel.
At that moment, the paper dragons
Aww.
flew back into the box. Daniel still couldn't fully understand what the paper dragons had meant.
Same, dude.
But he had a vague feeling in his heart that he may never see his new friends again.
I love the idea of them ending the letter with, "Don't worry, this isn't goodbye. We will protect you for the rest of your life. We will see each other again." And Daniel's like, nah. that ain't right.
A few days later, Daniel's chickenpox had fully recovered.
Yeah, where
He could
were those
now play
chickenpox,
penny
by the
whistle
way?
Very, very well. But the paper dragons never returned.
Put into bag. Beep. They had to protect our world, dude.
Maybe it was time to leave and move on.
Earthquake warning! Magnitude 6.2! A massive earthquake is hitting our town! All townspeople, please leave
It's
your
the
houses
giants!
and move to safe open spaces!
Just then, countless paper dragons shot from the cardboard box.
No!
However, it seemed like they were under attack, spinning and falling through the air in confusion.
Daniel, you gotta destroy the box, dude. It's the only way.
Daniel quickly grabbed the stickers out from his bag and did his best to heal the injured paper dragons.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh no. Wagons. I gotta put stickers on the box, dude. We have to sticky the box. It's the only way. Penny! I need healing!
But the paper balls swarmed together and pushed Daniel away,
No!
subduing him firmly in the corner. He couldn't move. Suddenly, ominous clouds rose from the box, and a violent lightning flashed through the room. The figure of a giant slowly emerged from the thick clouds, and the entire attic became overwhelmed with its evil aura.
The earthquake is growing stronger! Now with a magnitude of 7.1! Heaven almighty! Are we doomed?
The giant unleashed its power maniacally. The paper dragons struggled against it, with no means of fighting back. At this critical moment, two paper dragons shined brilliantly. Together, they heroically crashed their bodies into the giant. Daniel thought the giant had been defeated by the paper dragons, but soon he found that things would probably not be so simple.
Yeah?
The giant's figure could still be seen in the thick smoke, looking evil.
Can you imagine you're at work and they're like, alright, time for us to go to there's a guest speaker at SCP. And they tell this story.
Ferocity. The paper dragons were simply no match for it.
The earthquake is growing stronger still! The greatest disaster this town has seen in over 100 years! My heavens! Will this nightmare ever end?
With the paper dragons now all but defeated, Daniel spotted a frail figure in the distance.
Penny!
It was Penny. It flew gently in front of Daniel and affectionately rubbed its head against his fingers, as if this whole crisis had never happened. Daniel felt like Penny was trying to tell him something, but he didn't quite understand what.
He's a child. He's a
Penny
baby
then
boy.
left Daniel and soared into the air with a determination in its wings. Suddenly, the other paper dragons seemed to be summoned. They flew through the air, all together in unison.
Here we go,
responding
baby.
to the call without an ounce of hesitation. At that moment, Penny turned into a great red beam and rushed fast towards the giant. The other dragons followed, shining together like a shooting star. At that moment, Daniel seemed to see a real dragon flying.
No!
Yo, does Daniel play the guitar? Nice.
and the impact
Sorry.
drowned out everything else in the attic. The attic rained down with countless pieces of paper, the leftover scraps of the paper dragons. Daniel wanted to collect all of the pieces. He thought he could still fix them.
Oh. Oh.
Goodbye, my friend.
Oh.
The nightmare is over. The earthquake has stopped. With God's mercy, our town is safe. We thank you, Lord, for your protection.
A few days later, the art festival was held as scheduled. Daniel attended the show with his penny whistle.
Oh, right. He was practicing the penny whistle for a reason. I forgot. Don't make me do it. No. Oh my god.
Penny whistle solo of a song titled Fly With Me.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hello, everybody. Let's go. No! I got an Achievo! Rhythm Master. Oh! Yo, the guest speaker's name is Daniel. So I feel like their guest speaker is just telling their life story, how they got into SCP shit.
And that's how the story ends. Now, you might be wondering,
oh my god.
what happened
Daniel,
next?
turn down the music.
Are there
Daniel, turn
still
down the
paper
PowerPoint is
dragons
still
in the
going.
world?
Daniel, the
Well,
PowerPoint is it's
that's
so
a difficult
loud.
question to
Daniel,
answer.
Daniel, stop.
But I believe
Daniel.
that they are still protecting us somewhere in this world, just like they promised they would, forever, into eternity.
Thank God for subtitles, dude. That was the whole conference. We don't get... Daniel's not going to be like... And anyway, now that I'm an adult, let's chat about that. Dragon soar. What lovely paper dragons. I loved them so much. Where are they being contained now? SCP-1762 is being contained at Reliquary Research Institute, where Dr. Daniel is supervising director. The cardboard boxes remained silent. How do you know this, Gent? I thought you didn't attend the monthly lecture, Gent. Under the direction of Dr. Trevor, Gent spent 2 years researching SCP-1762, so he knows way more than we do. Wow, with the tilde. I told you all that that particular SCP didn't suit me. Imagining you tidying up files and piles of cute fairy books is kind of adorable. Enough, I'm getting back to work, but I'm going to stress the point again. That particular SCP didn't suit me. I've been here for a month now. I'm entirely adjusted to the job, though the content of the work is to simply process archive files. It's work that will never bore me. A few absurd jokes aside, most of the archives are really rather fascinating. I've been having hallucinations lately. I feel like someone's calling me, a voice low and uncertain. They seem to be trying to communicate with me, but I can't understand a single word they say. I planned on seeing a doctor, but Zoe told me it was the typical rookie syndrome, and it would clear up in a few days. I certainly hope that's the case. Okay. Okie doke. Artichoke. Yorkshire, England. SCP-300 stored in a locked climate-controlled container at Site Blank. Experimentation on 300 may only be performed with prior written permission from at least one Level 3 senior researcher. Consists of a blank containing approximately 2.4 cc of an unidentified colorless liquid. When a single drop of 300-2 is extracted from 300-1 and the drop is viewed through a standard optical microscope, an animated scene becomes visible. No two drops have shown precisely the same scene. These scenes generally take the form of pastoral or woodland scenes consistent with that of blank. Attempts to analyze the exact chemical components of SCP-300-2 have inexplicably failed, with spectrometers reporting wildly variant or false data, thus making attempts at replicating it impossible. SCP-300-2 also invariably evaporates within blank of being drawn outside SCP-300-1, despite all attempts at stabilizing the substance or controlling laboratory conditions. 300 was first documented along with redacted after being recovered from the attic of a row home. Following a raid by agents of the Royal Society for the Security, Containment, and Protection of Anomalous Artifacts, 300 was transferred to SCP Foundation possession on this date. Sorry, I'm just checking the time. I'm gonna have to leave early. I'm gonna let Sam sleep and grab Clarky because his migraine is so fucking bad right now. Okay, what did that add? Oh, just where? Just added the place, I guess. Antique glass perfume bottle? Oh. Okay. Victorian era England. Woodland scenes consistent of Victorian era England. Okay. Evaporates within 2 to 8 hours. Okay, I see. Okay, submit. I'll just put everything over ahead of time. Object class Keter. Procedures. Artifact is to be held in a secure bunker in the facility at Site Blank and constantly monitored by approved Class D personnel. The object's new arrangement is to be imaged every time it shifts. New arrangements are fed into the facility's Class OT supercomputer. Division Chief is to be notified of all changes and current estimates every half hour. No personnel is to touch SCP-90 except under Order Blank. Access security level has been created for monitoring. Non-AXA personnel found in the facility will be terminated. 90 was located and retrieved in blank blank on blank. Prior to retrieval, 90 had been located in a chamber at the nearby cathedral. 90 was then removed, the cathedral was burned, and the 6 monks and the priest were terminated. 90 has been located at site blank since the retrieval. Object's initial location prior to the cathedral is unrecorded. 90 is a black cubic structure made of an unknown ceramic material. Object is classified as indestructible following tests outlined in document 90-B. Each side is divided into 10,000 individual squares in arrangement similar to a Rubik's Cube. Each square has part of a design etched into the surface. Etchings glow white. An unknown internal structure causes the realignment of a single row or column roughly every 2.8 seconds. Vague records of the object's alignments have been kept since 1242 CE, but those kept before 1533 CE have been lost. Modern technology has allowed the exact alignments to be imaged and recorded as well as studied. Segments are divided by a thin white line unless they are aligned correctly with the square directly adjacent to them. There are 22 correct alignments on the object's surface currently. Blah, 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 blah. 6 segment alignment. Full item completion has been hypothesized to cause an unparalleled disaster to occur. Access security level personnel should see document 90-B, 90-A, experiment notes. 12, observation going well. We have managed to develop a system to record and analyze the shifts in the cube almost as quickly as they occur. No correlation between shifts and any world events found yet. We observed a 6-segment alignment today on the first side. It was noted and passed without incident. 2 hours later, a research assistant returned from the break room with news that a tsunami had occurred in the Indian Ocean and caused hundreds of thousands of deaths and extensive property damage. No correlation is currently known. We will make note of it. After our 120th alignment on the 4th side of the cube and 120th accident report in the lab, we are designated the 4th side as local and will implement safety measures tomorrow. Staff are discouraged from making bets regarding the outcomes of alignments. A 6-segment alignment was recorded this morning on the local side. As a safety precaution, site blank was evacuated. 2 hours later, a containment breach occurred but resulted in no loss of life due to the evacuation. Object is determined to predict events, not cause them. First side designated as global. Upgrade to Euclid status requested. We stepped up our experiments today by attempting to modify the cube itself. When D-class personnel blank attempted to make a shift, 90 immediately created a 10-segment alignment of its own accord near the top left corner of the local side. Exactly 2 hours later, SCP blank broke containment and data is expunged. Agents blank and blank were also lost during the incident. Recommend forced shift testing postponed. Upgrade to Keter status approved as 90 is obviously capable of causing events of its own accord. Object may be sentient. Okay. Memetics. Memetics are a type of information particle that contains supernatural abilities. In most circumstances, the medium that spreads the meme does not contain any supernatural ability. The meme itself is the sole carrier of supernatural ability. If, for example, a meme is written within a book, this does not mean that the book itself is a supernatural phenomenon, only that the meme within it contains supernatural elements. Memes do not have any direct physical influence on humanity, but all humans exposed to and having perceived the memetic SCP are at risk of being influenced by it. To be sure, memetic SCPs do not emanate any detectable forms of memetic rays or auras, and abnormal phenomena will take place only once a human perceives it. In short, memetic SCPs must first be understood before they can produce an anomalous phenomena. The first complete draft of SCP-898 was administered to 30 D-class subjects who were then locked into secure chamber 34 in Site 12. A loudspeaker installed in the room began to play a recording of 444 after all the subjects were safely locked behind the soundproof door. 12 subjects attempted to break down the doors, presumably in order to escape. 10 fled to corners of the room and huddled in them, covering their ears. 8 rushed to the speaker and attempted to tear it out of the wall. After some minutes, the latter subjects were successful, but they continued to show signs of extreme agitation after the recording was silenced. The subjects began to attack each other approximately 8 minutes later. When the doors were unsealed and security teams entered 30 minutes after, a majority of the subjects were either dead or in critical condition. The survivors had to be neutralized. Incident Report 89815. On October 1st, 1994, the second complete draft. Data expunged of SCP-898 was administered to 30 D-Class subjects who were then locked into a secure chamber 34, Site 12. Once again, a loudspeaker installed in the room began to play a recording after all of the subjects were safely locked behind the soundproof doors. The subjects displayed very similar behavior, but their agitation appeared to cease after Dr. Dahl, the technician overseeing the experiment, shut off the recording himself. Unaware that the microphone in his observation booth was turned on, he said aloud, "It looks like the counter meme worked right this time." Some of the D-Class subjects who were near the loudspeaker apparently heard this as they began to show signs of agitation and proceeded to fight amongst themselves or run from each other, starting a riot that eventually encompassed all of the subjects. Security teams had to neutralize several of the subjects, but the remaining ones surrendered. Excerpts from interview with Dr. Grinko. Since any mimetic compulsion by definition involves the inspiration of an idea into the target's mind, the most obvious defense mechanism was another type of inspiration, preferably one that would create a more powerful compulsion and override the first meme. As near as we could tell, the problem was that the counter meme was treating itself as an invading meme. If a person infected with SCP-898 became consciously aware they were infected, 898 would activate. We called this auto-activation. The first complete 898 treatment also had an unfortunate side effect of looping. 898 would automatically detect itself once it had been activated once and would keep activating over and over. Although we were able to work out the looping problem in most cases, we would not prevent a loop in the case of auto-activation, and we never found a solution to auto-activation. The best we could do was use a workaround with amnestics and try to make sure that knowledge of SCP-898 wasn't generally known to Foundation personnel. First subject would be locked into a soundproof room and provided with a written sample of 444 and asked to copy it onto another blank piece of paper. When that task was completed, a second subject would enter the room and the first subject would verbally describe what he had written to the second subject. D44589 initially appeared to be able to copy the text until he resorted to tracing over it. He was unable to describe what he had written to 44590 and finally resorted to showing what he had copied. 44590 was isolated along with 44589. 590 began to show symptoms of 444 infection. 589 did not, and eventually they became unable to communicate. 591 infected with 898, strain 4. Copy the text, read it aloud, was isolated. They began to show symptoms of 444 infection, did not, but they were still able to have some limited communication. Our early attempts at making counter meme toyed with the idea of compelling the infected subject to be blind or apathetic toward incoming memes, but those had even more serious drawbacks than the Berserker serum. In the worst cases, our subjects would become effectively blind and deaf, unable to see or hear or read language or sense anything else with powerful mental associations. In the best cases, the subjects would still be effective carriers of any meme they absorbed, even if they were not personally affected by it. In short, we have failed. Looking back on the last 3 years, it seems to me that all we've really done is figure out how to induce a lot of different mental disorders. I see. You think that this is reason enough to abandon the project. Yes, maybe not forever, but it's clear to me now that we just don't have the knowledge base to develop very effective memes of our own. Maybe in a few decades, when our knowledge of memetics and neurology is a bit more developed, we can pick this up again, but for now, I don't think there's anything else constructive we can do. In addition, given the current project safety assessment, we will reclassify it from Euclid to safe. Really? I know, alarm. Thank you. Okay. Coral. What's up, boss? There's a temporary archive that needs to be sorted. The others are in the field. You'll have to take over. Am I qualified? The mission is an emergency, Carl. It's beyond your current level. But your recent performance has proven you have the ability to accomplish it. You can count on me. Remember, stay sane and always in awe. Get to it then. Yikes. Okay. Consciousness intrusion action. Euclid. Oh my god. Witch plan 26.1.04 mandate from council to transfer Miss Violet to SCP-239 project. Favorite storybook, The Animals of Africa, Demeter plan, accident investigation report. Oof. We'll watch the intro, but then I have to go, unfortunately.
D6744, please provide your identification code according to the mission letter. 4 and 20 blackbirds.
Tell me, Doc, when was the last time this rag on my head was washed?
D6744, according to the 7th edition of the Security Regulation Amendment, you must first provide your identification code. Otherwise, you will be executed.
All right. 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. You're a real fan of these formalities. Everything's got to be right by the book with you. Oh, God. Fuck.
Hi.
MacDonald, consciousness intrusion expert, former leader of MTF UP2, codename Spider. Now, level D personnel, number 6744.
Enough with these damn formalities. Just what the hell you want me to do?
D6744, do you know about the Witch Plan?
I've heard the name, that's all.
The plan is under the direct command of O5. Every last detail of the plan is protected by the strictest confidential terms.
So what?
D6744, what you're about to witness is top secret information. Foundation.
The hell is going on?
What the hell is going on?
Something went wrong with the Witch Plan experiment. The energy of the human anomaly, SCP-239, is out of control and has begun diffusing outward, disintegrating everything it touches.
You guys seriously never cease to...
Human SCPs are always the saddest stories, dude.
SCP-239 is now a ticking time bomb. She could go off at any moment. D6744, I need you to enter the consciousness of SCP-239
Pardon?
to stop this bomb from exploding.
The neural key is fully charged and ready to enter the target consciousness space.
Begin the program.
Consciousness begins to link. Start the countdown.
D6744,
5,
we don't have much time left.
3, 2, incise.
Oh my god, I want to play this so bad, but I gotta go. Man, okay. Alright. SCP Secret Files, dude. It's actually pretty fun. The D clearly stands for disposable. Well, yeah, everybody with a D class name is a death row inmate, correct? Let me open this up. We'll read off our activity feed and stuff. Raid leader is also open if you would like to use your points to raid somebody. And yeah, sorry about that, guys. But let's see, it's Tuesday, so nothing tonight because Super Cousin Time happens Fridays now. So next time that I stream will be Thursday. I scrolled too far. Megaboss Boar, thank you for the 9 months. Happy Twitch, baby. Cordry, thank you for the 97. Uberfish for the 67. Maddie Dew for the 3 years. Happy anniversary. Johnich for the 41. Ebury for the 8. Rockhead Rumple for the 62. Q Consolidated for the 11. Carla for the 21. Bezo for the 42. Gerg for the 20. Kuba the Bear for the 71. Wolven for the 44. Weird Uncle J for the 74. Moondrop for the 2 years. Happy anniversary. Crabat for the 37. Arcelbo for the 85. Azrael Sinclair for the 70. And Gokshano for the 30. Thank you all very much. We had more viewers than normal today. If any of you are new here or don't swing by super often, I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you'll come back. Yeah. Who are we raiding? Do we have a raid leader? We do not. I will choose. I will choose. I'm the captain now. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my god, Sips is still going hard on Plate Up, dude. And Brett messaged me like, you want to play Plate Up? Yes, obviously. I haven't played it in a while, though. Let's see. Let's see. Looks like Gab is just starting. Let's go say hi to Gab. Gab Smolders. Gab's lovely. Go say hi, spread love, spread joy. I will see you guys on Thursday. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Stay spooky. Bye-bye.